Welcome, everybody, to the NFL Presidential Address. And if you guys are tuning in for the first time, well, you're lucky. You're lucky to have found us. Shame you weren't with us all year long. Let's take care of some business right off the bat. But if you guys aren't familiar with the show, basically, I go down every single game on the board. I give you my thoughts, side, total, whatever I'm betting or looking at for that particular game. Andy Lang will be joining us towards the end of the show. He'll have 3 prop bets. And then I have 3 best bets at the end of the show, plus a teaser bet as well. So stay with us all the way through to the end. I just want to let everybody know, and I know this is bad news, but this is the final NFL Presidential Address of the entire season. I have decided I will not be doing the NFL Presidential Address during the playoffs. And look, the reason is simple and selfish. We at WagerTalk make our money selling picks. We provide an incredible amount of free content. And there's just not going to be enough games during the playoffs for me to bury my actual client picks inside of the information. Frankly put, if I do an NFL Presidential Address during the playoffs, I will kill my sales. And I don't want to do that because that's what we do for a living. With that said, I have a promo for you guys so that you can take advantage of my Week 18 client bets and my NFL playoffs. The promo code is NFL20. Use the promo code NFL20 at my page, the Prez at WagerTalk.com. And you can get all of Week 18 plus my entire playoffs until the end of the Super Bowl for only $99. Look, you guys should have made a ton of money all year from this show. Let's do a recap. Across the board, last week I went 7-3. My entire record from top to bottom, all the plays I have given out, 235 plays I gave out throughout the year. My record was 134 wins, 101 losses. That's an average of 57%. If you guys bet $100 a play, just $100 a play, you would be up $2,300 betting all my plays across the board. And my best bet record, 33-17. Went 2-1 last week. That's 66%. $100 better would have made $1,430 betting those plays. And my teasers, 8-3 on the year. So when you add all of that up together and then consider that I'm only asking for $99 for my playoffs and Week 18, I think that's reasonable. I think that's a fair trade. I give you winners all year. You use the promo code NFL20. You buy my playoffs and Week 18. So that's it. With that said, final show of the season. Guys, I appreciate all the comments, all the feedback. I love it. It's been really, really great. So thank you, everybody, for that. Let's get into it, boys. Top to bottom, and we're going to start right off the bat with Dallas going into Philadelphia. -7 on tap. 42.5 is the total. And, well, there is a chance, slim albeit, but there is a chance that Dallas and Philly will play each other in the first round of the playoffs. Now, that's unlikely. The most likely scenario is Dallas will play Arizona. But what is important is if Dallas loses this game and Arizona wins, and Arizona's -6.5, 7 against Seattle, Dallas will have to play in Arizona. If Dallas wins this game, they host the game against Arizona. So this actually is an important game for Dallas. It's not an important game for Philadelphia. Philadelphia has clinched the playoffs. They are unlikely to move positioning. The New Orleans has a chance to get into the playoffs, but they can only take San Fran's spot. So here we have a situation where Dallas needs to win the game. Philly doesn't. Philly released their COVID list recently, and everybody and their mother is on that COVID list. So I don't think we're going to get a very good effort from Philadelphia. I think they've locked their spot up, and they're ready to just move on to the playoffs. So with that said, I lean, and it is just a lean, on Dallas minus the 7 points. Now we move on to Kansas City against Denver. Kansas City minus 10. There is a 10.5 out there, a couple of them. So we are seeing money coming in on Kansas City. The total in this game is 44. This game has a bit of intrigue to me. As Kansas City is playing on Saturday and Tennessee is playing on Sunday, Kansas City needs to win this game, and if Tennessee lose their game, in order to get that bye and home field advantage all the way through. And although Tennessee is likely going to win their game, Kansas City is going to play this game as if it's a must-win game. I just don't know if they'll be able to cover 10, because if they're up by 14 points going into the fourth or 16 points going into the fourth, they might pull some of their starters and give them a rest. But this Kansas City team is going to go out there and win, and I do have a bet for you guys on this. Look, when you look at Denver, man, this Denver team is done. Locke is not their QB. They've had a disappointing season. Their coach is unlikely to get back this year. I don't think we're going to get Denver at their best at all. So how do we bet this game? Well, I like the over. I think the over is a good bet. I think we're going to see Kansas City put up 28-31. And I think we're going to see Denver put up 14-17. Given that this total is so low, I do like the over. But my favorite bet in this game is Kansas City minus 6.5 in the first half. Basically, how I see this playing out is Kansas City rolls out their best players. They go for broke in the first half. They put up as many points as they can. They try to get as big a lead as possible so that they could potentially sit their players in the second half. So I like Kansas City minus 6.5 in the first half, and I do like over the total. Now we have Chicago and Minnesota. Really? So what do we do in this game? Who cares? Does Chicago care? Does Minnesota care? I know for sure as a fact, I don't care. I think Zimmer is done as a coach for the Vikings. I think the Vikings have to be very disappointed right now. And frankly, I think they're emotionally drained and just wanting to move on. I don't think we get a good effort out of Minnesota at all, as opposed to Chicago. Here we have a Chicago team that could literally end the season winning 3 games in a row and tying Minnesota for their in record, which is a huge improvement given where Chicago was even 4 or 5 weeks ago. I think we're going to get a good effort out of Chicago in this game. But can I really bet the side? I just can't get myself to play it. I'm going to lean on the under in this game. 45 points. We're going to have backups all over Minnesota. We already know Chicago is struggling to score. This seems to be a very high total to me. We're going to go with under 44.5, 45 points in this game. Now we go to Cincinnati and Cleveland. The Cincinnati-Cleveland game, well, we had a massive line move today while taping. It's Wednesday. We got word that Burrows won't be playing, and as a result, we've had a massive line move. Cincinnati was minus 2.5 yesterday. They are now plus 5.5, and the total in this game is 40. So let me tell you guys something interesting about Cincinnati and their playoff position. Does Cincinnati care about this game? Well, if I'm Zach Taylor and the Bengals, I would care a lot about this game. I would do everything in my power to lose this game. The bottom line is if Buffalo wins, and Buffalo's minus 17 against the Jets, so they're expected to win. If Buffalo wins and Cincinnati loses, they swap spots. And Buffalo becomes the 3rd seed, meaning they have to face Indy and Kansas City. And Cincinnati is the 4th seed, meaning they get to play New England and Tennessee. That's just a massive difference. So no wonder Joe Burrows isn't playing in this game. Cleveland. I mean, I want to bet Cleveland here so bad. -5.5. Case Keenum is playing. This Cleveland team, like Minnesota, have to be really disappointed and completely emotionally drained in this game. I cannot get to the window on the side in this game, but I do lean on under the total. The line is not 40. It's 38. I still think that's good, man. 20-17 gets us to 37. That's under. I think we have it. I think this game has 17-13 written all over it. Take under the total in the Cleveland-Cincinnati game. Now we move to Green Bay versus Detroit. Green Bay was -2 yesterday. They're now -4. 66% of the tickets coming in are being written on Green Bay. The total in this game is 45. Interestingly, it was 42.5, but a ton of money is coming in on the over. I'm going to make this real easy, guys. I'm not touching this game, period. It is a totally meaningless football game. Green Bay doesn't give a shit, and even if Detroit tried to give a shit, they still might lose to Green Bay's secondary squad. I can't take the Pack. I can't take Detroit. This is an outright pass. Just a quick reminder, everybody, this is the last NFL presidential address of the year. If you want to know what I'll be betting during the playoffs in Week 18, please use the promo code PREZ20. PREZ20, it's $99 for the rest of my NFL season. Let's talk Indianapolis, Jacksonville. Indianapolis -15.5. Jacksonville and Indy total 44. What a great way to end a shitty season for Jacksonville. Can you imagine? They go in there and they're at home, but they beat the Colts. They beat the Colts and knocked them out of the playoffs. Could it happen? Well, it is sports. And Carson Wentz could throw a bunch of interceptions. And Jonathan Taylor could fumble the ball. But it is unlikely to happen. But man, that would just be a hell of a ending for Jacksonville. But it's hard to bet Jacksonville in this game. That, however, is my only lean. I think we have a situation where Indy is going to go into Jacksonville and do enough to win this game. I don't see them winning 30-3 or like New England 50-10 or whatever the score was. I think Indianapolis is going to keep this score down. I think we're going to see an under in this game. And I think Jacksonville will lose, but will stay inside of 15.5. My pick on this game, under 44 and Jacksonville plus 15.5 points. Now we move to Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Well, this is an interesting game. Pittsburgh has an extremely small chance of getting into the playoffs. They need Indianapolis to lose. They need the Chargers and the Raiders to tie. There is a pathway for both Baltimore and Pittsburgh, but it is very slim. According to the mathematicians, Pittsburgh has an 8% chance of making the playoffs, and Baltimore has a 4% chance of making the playoffs. Look, last week we played the under in the Pittsburgh-Cleveland game and had another ridiculously good week for my clients. Both Cleveland and Pittsburgh tried everything in their power to get that game to go over the total in that fourth quarter. They went for it on fourth downs from start to finish, and yet this game was a stone-cold under all the way through. This week we have a dead-arm Big Ben against a no-star power Ravens team. Both teams have injuries everywhere, but why are the Ravens favored by so much? This is a Ravens team that's lost 5 games in a row, playing Big Ben in his final game ever, and simply do not deserve to be a -5.5 favorite. I like Pittsburgh here, guys, but that's not my pick on this game. My pick on this game is under the total of 41.5. I mean, lay out the scenarios. Is this game going to be 30-24? Hell no. Is this game going to be 28-21? Hell no. That's 7 touchdowns, for Christ's sake. This game reeks of 13-10, 16-13, that type of number. We have a ton of room to get under the total of 41.5. That, my friends, is the play. Now we got Tennessee. -10 with a few 10.5s on tap against Houston with a total of 43. Look, Houston beat Tennessee last time they played. It might have been the upset. Well, Jacksonville beating Buffalo is probably the upset of the year, but Houston, Tennessee is right there with it. Assuming Kansas City wins Saturday, Tennessee knows they have to beat Houston in order to get that home field advantage. But will they win by 10.5? I think this has got that Indianapolis-Jacksonville situation written all over it. I think Houston slows this game down to a crawl. I think they play ball possession. I think they run 2 out of every 3 downs. I think they kick more field goals than touchdowns. I don't see this game going over the total. 43 points? I think Tennessee's going to do just enough to win this game, but not enough to put up 30 points. But even if they put up 30, they should be able to keep Houston to 10. That's 30-10, 40 points. We still have a field goal to spare on the under. I think the under is the play here. You look at this Tennessee team. Defensively, one of the best teams in all of football. Their last 4 games, they allowed their opponents to put up 3, 17, 19, and 0. And none of those opponents were as bad as Houston. Take the under in this game. Now we move to Washington and the New York Giants. Now we move to Carolina and Tampa Bay. Now we move to New England and Miami. In other words, I ain't touching those other 2 games. I like Miami here, guys. Look, yesterday I wrote it was at Miami +7. Now it's +6.5. The total in this game is 40. So naturally, normally, and mathematically, I'm against buying points. When a total is low, the points actually become more important. If you can pay -120, take Miami plus the 7. If it's -130, do not spend 20 cents buying points. That's idiotic. So take Miami at +6.5 if you're getting it -130. Look, this Miami team have been eliminated. I get it, but this is a real proud team that has put together a hell of a run after a terrible start. And now they have a shot to beat a nemesis team at home, and they have a shot to finish the season 9-8, which I know is important, at least to the coach. I think we get a really, really strong effort from this Miami team. Take the points and sprinkle a little bit on the money line. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints playing the Atlanta Falcons. New Orleans is -4, 4.5. The total of this game is 40. Look, New Orleans still has a shot. It's about a 40% shot, and they need San Fran to lose, which, frankly, San Fran can lose. They're playing the Rams, and they're a dog, and they're on the road. Both these games are going to go off at the same time. That's very important. If the Rams are demolishing San Fran, New Orleans is going to play their hearts out. If San Fran is up, 20-3, New Orleans is going to have an emotional moment and unlikely put their best foot forward. I think, though, with all that said, I think we get a great effort from the Saints. This is a team that is struggling to score in their last 6 games. The Saints team has scored 18, 3, 9, 30, 17, and 7. So pretty much 5 of those games were under 20 points. 2 of those games were under 10. Defensively, in the Saints' last 4 games. They held teams to 10, 20, 0, and 9. So what does a team do when they have to win a game? They rely on their strength, and that is defense. I'm going to tell you guys, I like the under in this game. You look at Matt Ryan, man, this Atlanta Falcons team can try all day to score. Like a eunuch trying hard to get off. It's just not possible. This Falcons team in their last 8 games have scored 15, 20, 13, 29, 17, 21, 0, and 3. Not very impressive. The pick for me, I lean on the Saints, but my pick is on the under. With the Saints in must-win mode, their defense is going to play incredible. I have a predicted score of somewhere around 17-13. Now we move on to the New York Jets at Buffalo. I know I'm all over the place today. I didn't get to go down the rotation properly, so my apologies, but whatever. You're getting all my games. You're getting all my picks. What do we do in this game? This game pretty much comes down to one thing. How much do the Bills want to win by? Nobody called me. Nobody told me. Nobody on the Bills let me know. The coach didn't give me a heads up. I don't have a clue how much they want to win by. So I'm just going to pass. Now we got Seattle plus 6.5 versus Arizona, a total of 48. Man, I think this is an important game for Arizona. Even if Dallas wins and Arizona is locked into their spot, I think we get a huge effort from this Arizona team. This Arizona team just beat Dallas. Now they have a chance to beat Seattle. They can go into Wild Card Weekend, feeling good about themselves with a couple of wins under their belt. And I think that is what will happen. I will say this, though, in regards to picking the game. If Dallas loses, I like Arizona and the over. If Dallas wins, I am passing on this game. So that's how it's going to play out. If Dallas loses, which I don't expect them to do, I like Arizona and the over. If Dallas wins, I am not betting this game. Now we have the San Francisco 49ers against the Rams. San Fran is plus 4.5, a total of 44. Juicy game here, guys. Both teams must-win mode. Why are the Rams in must-win? Man, right now they're the 2nd seed. They lose this game and Tampa Bay beats Carolina. The Rams are playing they're going to play that game in Tampa Bay. If the Rams win, they will hold home field advantage all the way through till the conference finals. Normally, I would bet under in this spot, given that both teams have really strong defenses and both teams are playing to win. But man, the Rams can score with anybody, and we've seen San Fran put up points all year. I'm not going to take the side in this game. My pick, I lean on the over. Now we have the most important game on the board, period. The LA Chargers -3 versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Winner takes all. And if you want to know my thoughts on it, use the promo code NFL20 because I'm betting that game. It's going to be a client play. It's yours for $99 as well, all the way through to the end of the Super Bowl, only $99. Use the promo code NFL20. Guys, it's time for Andy Lang. Then after that, I'll give you my best bets. Man, this show is fun.
What's up, everybody? We normally do 3 props in 3 minutes. Last week of the regular season is different. Why? It is contract incentive bonus week. So here's how it works. Last week of the regular season, there are lots of players that have certain bonuses tied to their contracts that if they get over a certain number, they get paid extra bonuses on this. So what we're looking at is players that have reachable goals that will get them paid extra money. And most of these are going to be receiving props. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over these guys. And when the props are released over the weekend, look at what their number is on the sports books and if it relates to what their bonus is. So let's take a look at some of these players. First is Cooper Kupp. This is not a contract incentive, but he needs 11 catches and 117 yards for the NFL single season record. Obviously, 11 catches is a lot, but 117 yards is very doable. He's playing San Francisco with a bad secondary. So I would look at Cooper Kupp over his receiving total to get 117 yards to get the single season receiving total. Gronkowski, he has 2 bonuses. Each bonus pays $500,000. Tom Brady is a legend for getting his receivers and tight ends their bonuses. So Gronkowski needs 7 receptions to cash one of them, and he needs 85 yards to cash the other one. We all know about Antonio Brown and Godwin being out. So Brady has always helped his receivers, like we mentioned. So look at Gronk over his receptions and Gronk over his receiving yards to get to those bonuses. And speaking of another Buccaneers wide receiver, Mike Evans. Mike Evans only needs 54 yards to get to 1,000 yards. Why is this important? He's gotten over 1,000 yards in all 7 years of his career. Byron Leftwich is open about getting him over this total. Last year, he hurt his knee towards the end of the year, but they still got him to 1,006 yards for the season. So this is an important record for Mike Evans. He only needs 54 yards. So if we get a prop that's below this 54 yards, we're going to take the over. And the Buccaneers are playing the Panthers, who has basically given up on this season. So look for Gronk and Evans to get over. Stephon Diggs, he needs 6 receptions. If he gets 6, he's going to get a $658,000 bonus. They're playing the Jets, so he should have no problem getting that. So what we're hoping is we get a 5.5, maybe a 6.5, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we get a 5.5 total. And even if it's juiced, we'll be taking that one over. And finally, Kyle Pitts needs 67 receiving yards to break the rookie tight end receiving yards record. He's got a little bit of a hamstring issue, so we got to keep our eye on that, but this is definitely doable. So if we get a total under 67.5 yards, and Kyle Pitts looks like he's good to go for his game this week, we'll take Kyle Pitts. So quick recap, we're going to look at Cooper Kupp over 117 yards to get the single season record. Gronk needs 7 receptions and 85 yards to get his bonuses. Evans needs 54 yards to get over 1,000. Diggs needs 6 receptions to get his bonus, and Kyle Pitts needs 67 receiving yards to break the rookie tight end receiving yards. These have been profitable for many years. Very confident in them. So good luck. Let's cash these. And back to you, Prez.
Wow, Andy Lang rocking it again. So happy to have him doing the show. A big shout out to Andy. He's been with us since week 1 of the NFL Presidential Address. Guys, a quick reminder, this is the final NFL Presidential Address of the season. I would really appreciate if you guys take advantage of that offer, NFL 20, $99 for my playoffs. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, last year in the playoffs, I was 62%. 62% in the NFL last year in the playoffs. 2 years ago in the playoffs, I was 68%. So you're not doing me a favor by spending that $99 and buying my playoff package. You're doing you and your family, and if you bet enough money, the generations below that. You're doing them a favor because I'm going to kill it in these playoffs. Anyway, best bets for the show, the last best bet segment of the year. We're going with Miami at +7, -120. We're going with the New Orleans Saints under the total, and we're going with the Tennessee Titans under the total. That's Miami +7, -120. The Saints under the total, Tennessee under the total. I do not have a teaser for you guys. It has been a privilege to do this show. It has been a pleasure to read the comments. It has been humbling to win for all of you guys from start to finish. It is with great pleasure that I say we will see you next year for the NFL Presidential Address. Be well, everyone. Take care of yourselves. I love you all. Namaste.